Hey guys, I'm Chase Brogan, and today in this video we are diving straight into the Y7 Retro Game Console Game Stick, a $100 retro game stick that claims to offer over 12,000 preloaded classic games. This little plug and play right here connects straight to your TV, comes with wireless controllers, and promises a massive library ready to play straight out of the box. So today in this video we're going to unbox it, we're going to check out the layout and design, we're going to of course set it up, tour through everything that it has to offer so you know exactly what you're getting when you purchase this. And then of course we're going to dive into some games and check out the performance. Let's dive into it. Alright guys, so right here is the actual box. We're going to go ahead and start opening this up. So right on top we have what looks like the game console. We've got a USB-A dongle located right over there. We'll dive into this a little bit further. We've got both of our controllers. And we've got a user manual. We also have a USB-A to Type-C cable connection right over here. And then we also have a regular HDMI to regular HDMI cable. All right, so let's take a closer look at the actual console itself. So this is a very unique design, and just looking at this, you might be wondering, how the heck does that work? Well, the way that this works is this actually installs on the top of your TV, and you use this little dial over here to move this in and out. That's going to actually pinch it and secure it onto the top of your TV. So you can use this with a monitor, you can use this with a regular TV, and for most of those, you're gonna have to bring this out quite a bit. You can see as I turn that, it moves this piece right here, and then basically the idea is we want to clamp it onto the edge of your TV. So over here we have a micro SD card slot. If we press that in, we can eject the SD card. This is a 256 gigabyte capacity SD card. Any plug and play device I ever review, I always talk about how you should absolutely back these up, because if you ever have a corruption, it will render your entire unit totally useless. And if you're going to be somebody that likes to tinker and you like to add or remove ROMs, definitely back this up prior to doing that, because tinkering around always increases your risk of a corruption. Now, if we go over to the other side, we have two USB-A ports. One of the connections is going to be for this dongle right here, which works for your controllers. And we'll open these up real quick. You can see basically it's a PlayStation style controller with different labeling on here. We have the A, B, X, and Y labeling rather than the shapes, but same basic feel as a typical PlayStation or PS2 style controller. We have the analog sticks here, very budget friendly, but definitely going to get us through the process of diving into games. I hope anyways. We're going to have to double check that, of course, which we'll be doing in this video. Let me see if we can open this up. There we go. It's a little bit tight there. So two AAA batteries go inside here, and it will automatically sync up with the dongle. Now both controllers are going to sync up with one single dongle here, which is great. Now let's go back to the console. Let's turn this around. We have our power button on the back side right there. Pressing it in is going to turn the power on. Hit it again, and you can see that it lifts out. That means that it's not powered on. We also have our DC power connection back here. That's how you're going to provide power to the actual console. So you'll go ahead and plug the Type-C cable in there. USB-A is going to plug into the back side of your TV. Now we also have our HDMI port back here. We have the HDMI cable that was included. So then we're going to simply open this up, and one end of this is going to plug into the console. The other end is going to plug directly into either your monitor or TV. So plugging this end in like so. Other end of this goes to the TV or monitor. So we're going to go ahead and fire this up. I'm going to install it on my TV, and we're going to tour through everything that this has to offer, and then of course test out some games. Alright guys, so I just loaded everything up and we landed on the PSP collection. So I'm not seeing a game count on here, unless that 243 in the middle is our game count, which I suppose it could be. So the way that we're going, I believe it is. All right, so 243 PSP games. So we'll go through it collection by collection, but I mean, we landed here. Let's start here. So we've got 007 From Russia with Love, which I love this game. Phenomenal game. We've got 300 right below that. We've got the Third Birthday. We've got 4x4 Jam. We've got Ace Combat X. We've got Air Conflicts down here, Aces of World War II. Alien Syndrome, we've got Alien vs. Predator, we've got Ape Escape Academy, Army of Two, The 40th Day, which is pretty cool. Assassin's Creed, we got some Astro Boy, we got some ATV Off-Road Fury, we've actually got two of those in here, but they are different games, not a duplicate by any means. We've got Avatar, The Last Airbender, Battlezone, Beowulf, Blood Bowl, Bomberman, a couple Bombermans, So these are true PSP games. These aren't like PSP minis. And I did see that we have a PSP minis collection over here. So we'll keep going. We got some Call of Duty, Roads to Victory over here. What else do we have? Let's see. Class of Heroes is in here. We've got Crash of the Titans, which is pretty cool. Crash Tag Team Racing. Another great game. Bunch of Crash titles for this particular collection. Dave Mirra BMX Challenge. Dead or Alive Paradise, Dead to Rights Reckoning, Def Jam Fight for New York The Takeover. I'm really impressed by this. This is a stacked PSP collection. Really impressive here. We got some Shrek in here. We've got Dungeon Maker in here. We've got Dynasty Warriors in here, a couple of those. F1 Grand Prix. Fast and Furious, and we'll test out some of these titles just to see what the performance is like, because, I mean, let's be honest, this console probably isn't going to be the most powerful by any means, but I want to make sure that of the 243 PSP games here, we can at least play PSP. So we'll keep it moving, but Ghost Recon Predator in here, which is, I believe, a Tom Clancy. God of War, Ghosts of Sparta, as well as Chains of Olympus. We got some Gran Turismo in here, Grand Theft Auto in here. Gun Showdown is a great game. Harry Potter, Hellboy, Hot Wheels, Indiana Jones and the Staff of Kings. Always love Indiana Jones. We got Jak and Daxter. We've got Iron Man 2. We got Juiced Eliminator. So it does seem like a very well-balanced selection of games. We've got a bunch of different types of games on here. We got Tomb Raider titles in here. Lego Batman's a great one. Lord of the Rings, Manhunt 2, some Marvel. We've got Medal of Honor, Mega Man, Metal Gear Solid, Miami Vice, Monster Jam Urban Assault, MotoGP, NBA. So we got sports, we've got racing, we've got shooters, we've got just tons and tons of great games on here. I'm really impressed by this. NFL Street 2. We've got Pac-Man. We've got, wow, a little bit of everything. We got some Pirates of the Caribbean. Power Stone collections even in here, which is cool to see. You don't typically see that. We got Ridge Racer 2, Rocky Balboa. This quite possibly, I'm really hoping that it performs well, but quite possibly this is the best PSP collection that I've seen. Usually we don't get titles like this, so hopefully they didn't add them on here and get our hopes up and then, you know, the game's not be playable, but so far I am stoked to dive into this. We've got Tekken 6, we got Tekken Dark Resurrection, we've even got The Godfather Mob Wars, which I played that so much for. I think I was playing it for like original Xbox back in the day. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We got Toy Story 3 on here. I was just playing Toy Story 3 on my Xbox 360 actually, with the kids. Even got WWE SmackDown vs. Raw 2009. All right, so I'm really impressed by this selection of PSP games. Let's keep it moving, though. We've got PSP Minis over here. PSP Minis has given us 336 games, and these are really easy to play. And I like the fact that they're separated from regular PSP titles, because a lot of times you just get PSP, and it's a mixture of a handful of true PSP games, and the rest are just PSP minis on these devices. So really cool that they've separated it, and we know exactly what we're getting in each. So I'm not going to spend too much time going through PSP minis games. It's just not a collection that I personally enjoy all that much, but cool to have nonetheless. Keeping it moving, we've got original PlayStation, 526 games. So we start off with the 2007 games. We got The World Is Not Enough, which I think is highly underrated. We've got Tomorrow Never Dies. I also really like the fact that, and I didn't mention this yet, but we have nice scraped data over here. We have a screenshot from the game. We have a some cover art there that actually in this case shows us the case that the game would have come in, and we also have a logo. And then left hand side we have our text list. Everything is in alphabetical order for easy access, so I'm definitely digging that. And it looks like we've got some good games. We got the Army Men games here. I mean, 526 original PlayStation games. That's pretty sweet. Now, I'll be diving into this to test everything out. I want to make sure that we have like the soundtracks and they didn't cut down on the size of the games by removing audio and stuff like that, which we do see from time to time with plug and plays. But so far, really impressed by this. Let's keep it moving through this collection, though. I know that PlayStation is obviously one of the more desirable collections, so I just want to show you guys what this actually offers. And again, I mean, it seems like we have a great balance of titles. We got some Castlevania in here. I imagine we have sports games, racing games. We have Contra in here, which is cool. We have Cool Borders 2, which is a cool game. I mean, I feel like we've been scrolling for a while, and we're just down to the C titles in alphabetical order. So all the Crash Bandicoot games, including my all-time favorite, Crash Team Racing. We got the Crow City of Angels in here, which you don't usually see that one in plug and plays. So it does seem to be very different than what we typically see. We got Dead or Alive in here. We've got Demolition Racer in here. We've got Destruction Derby, Diablo, Die Hard Trilogy, Dino Crisis, Digimon. Got some Disney titles, a bunch of Disney titles, in fact. My kids would love this. They love the Toy Story games, even going back to original PlayStation. We've got Driver, we got Ducati World, we got Duke Nukem, both of them in here. Earthworm Jim 2. We've got some racing games. We've got some sports games, it seems. FIFA in here, Final Fantasy, bunch of Final Fantasy titles. Gauntlet Legends, my all-time favorite game, though I wouldn't choose the PlayStation version to play it on, if I'm going the home console route, but still very cool to have it on there. Grand Theft Auto 2. I mean, just so many games on here. Harvest Moon, Hot Wheels, In the Hunt's a cool game. Jackie Chan Stuntmaster, we got some Iron Man in here. Knockout Kings, I used to play this endlessly. Some Legos, Lego Racer. Not sure if I think I've played Lego Rock Raiders. I think I've played Lego Island 2, but I'm not sure that I've played Lego Racers, believe it or not. Lethal Enforcers 1 and 2. Some Marvel titles in here. We got Medal of Honor, the original. Medieval 1 and 2. Mega Man. Men in Black. Wow, that takes me back. Mortal Kombat 4, Mortal Kombat 2. Bunch of Mortal Kombat games. Moto Racer. And again, we're just down to the M titles right now. We got NBA Jam Extreme, Need for Speed. They really have done a great job of getting those really important PlayStation games included on here, which is really cool to see. Point Blank 3. Power Rangers. Get some Ridge Racer Type 4. Taking it way back there. Rampage. Wow. Resident Evil titles are all included. Again, I'm hoping that everything is going to Ridge Racer as well. Ridge Racer Revolution, Ridge Racer Turbo. Hoping everything works properly, because so far I'm really impressed by the the titles that are offered here. But again, they're only going to be good if we can actually get through the games, and we should be able to get through them on here, but you never know. We got Silent Hill up there a little bit. We passed that. Small Soldiers, man, I gotta try this game out. I don't really remember the game, but I was just thinking about this the other day. I gotta turn my kids on to that movie. It was a good movie back then. Snowcross Championship Racing, Soul Blade, got some South Park in here, some Space Invaders in here, some Speed Racer right there. Spider-Man 2, got some Star Wars even, Street Fighter. And we've got all the Tekken games for PS1. So Tekken, Tekken 2, Tekken 3. Time Crisis, Project Titan, the original Time Crisis. Tintin, wow. So like games like this, you never see this on a plug-and-play game console. So really cool to see. Got some Rainbow Six, some Tomb Raider in here. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2, 3, and 4. Some more Toy Story, some Twisted Metal. UFC, the original game there. Vampire Savior. Wow. So many great games. Now, do we have any WWF titles? We do. Okay. That is awesome. We've got at least the original SmackDown game. I'd love to see SmackDown 2, but that's okay. We've got, let's see, we've got WrestleMania, the arcade game as well. Got some X-Men titles. Very good. Okay, I mean, we'll be back here to, obviously test out the performance, but let's go to the next collection. We got Nintendo DS with 192 DS games. Not a big DS guy, personally. When it comes to emulation, I did play the original console, but Not much with emulation, just not one that I'm super interested in. But let's see what the selection is for titles, because 192 is a lot of games. We got some Batman, we got some Asphalt titles in here, we've got Bomberman in here, some Call of Duty, some Castlevania, Chrono Trigger, Dirt 2 is a good one. I've played that through DS emulation before. Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Quest, Final Fantasy. I mean, again, whoever put this together did a great job, at least of finding titles that I think the majority of people are looking for. We got a lot of Lego games on here, and man, don't sleep on the Lego games. They're a blast. I made that mistake. We got some Madden in here, a lot of Mega Man, Need for Speed. We've got Pac-Man, Race Driver, more Ridge Racer DS. Sonic titles, lots of Sonic titles in here. I saw Speed Racer, Spider-Man, Star Wars, Star Trek even, Tony Hawk. I see Tron Evolution, I see Ultimate Mortal Kombat, which is great. Wreck-It Ralph down here. Very cool. All right, let's go to the next collection. We got N64, 225 titles for N64. GoldenEye to start it all off. World is Not Enough. Let's see what else is included. So let's try to cut down to, I hope we have Mario and, Nintendo titles. I see we've got Castlevania, we have California Speed, which is a great game. We've got Chopper Attack, which is fun. Command and Conquer, we've got Cruisin' World. Okay, so of the cruising games, Cruisin' World's on here. That's good. We've got Doom 64, we've got Duke Nukem, a couple Duke Nukem games. We got some ECW, we got some Earthworm Jim 3D. Looks good so far. I'm happy with this. Harvest Moon, Hydro Thunder, great game. We've got Jeremy McGrath Supercross 2000. Always enjoyed that one. Knockout Kings 2000. Some more Lego, some Madden. All right, so I didn't see any Mario. Ooh, okay. So there's no Mario Kart 64 on here? Yeah, because it would be right over here before we get down to Mega Man, right? Okay, Mission Impossible. We got some Mortal Kombat in here. We got NASCAR. We got NBA titles. We got NFL Blitz, NHL as well. Perfect Dark. Yeah, it looks like they left off, and that could be intentional. There are plug and plays that avoid, Nintendo IP for obvious reasons. So that seems to be what we're doing here. Interesting, okay. Alright, so we got the Virtual Pro Wrestling. That's cool to see. We don't typically see that. And now we're getting down to W. So do we have, we got the WCW games. We got Mayhem, Nitro, World Tour. We got Revenge. So what's missing there? We've got no Backstage Assault. That's okay. Nobody's ever going to play that. We got everything else, though. What do we have for WWF? We've got Attitude. We got No Mercy. We got Warzone. We got WrestleMania 2000. Excellent selections for wrestling games on here. I'm really impressed. The only one they left off is the worst wrestling game ever made. Okay, so we'll keep it moving. 225 N64 games. Nothing Mario related. I didn't see Donkey Kong, so they seem to be avoiding that. We've got Game Boy Advance though, so I'm interested. Do we have any? And we've got Kirby there on the Game Boy Advance logo, but that doesn't mean anything. I'm not going to go through 952 Game Boy Advance games. I'm impressed by the number, and I'm not seeing duplicates. But let's see. Do we have? Let's scroll up here. I saw some WWF games. That's always good for me as a wrestling fan. But let's see. Do we have any like Mario games in here? I'm just interested to see if they just left them off of the N64 collection or if they're just off the entire thing. And I'm not mad at it. I just want to, I want to know exactly what we're getting. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything Mario in here either. We'll keep looking as we go through these collections. So, again, 952 Game Boy Advance games. We got Super Nintendo over here with a total of 1,111 games. 11111. Or 1111. My bad. Okay, so then we won't have, and let's see, can we go to select on here? It doesn't look like there's a jump to menu. Oh, X is search. It says that right in the bottom right corner. So, okay. Oh, it's going to give us our master list search, though. I don't want to do that. I wish we could search within just the collection that we're highlighting, but if we held down for like Donkey Kong, let's see if that's there. And again, they got the Mario in the Super Nintendo logo, but again, doesn't mean anything. So we're looking for Donkey Kong. I would imagine we're not going to find it. Yeah, we're not going to find it here. Okay, so yeah, safe to say that there's no, Nintendo character games on here. Okay, so we got NES next. We have a total of 1,665 NES games. I don't feel like going through all of these in this collection. I would imagine everything except for, your Nintendo character titles would be found in here. So no Super Mario Brothers, I guess, right? That's what that would mean. WCW Championship Wrestling. Yeah, man, not having Super Mario Brothers definitely sucks. I saw, as we scrolled through there quickly, I saw that we do have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which is great. But, yeah, so we're in Super Contra, Super Jeopardy. But, yeah, no Super Mario Brothers. That's, yeah, that's a tough pill to swallow. All right, we got ports over here. Oh, wow. So Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge ported out. Definitely want to try this out and see if it actually works, because I've had mixed results with that in the past on some of these plug and plays. Open Bore 84 games. I've talked about this a lot in my reviews of different plug and plays. I love Open Bore. If you like that side to side, I would say kind of a casual gameplay experience. None of these are really super challenging, but an absolute blast to play these. And 84 games is, pretty solid selection. So lots of great things in here. We'll keep it moving. We got Dreamcast, 67 Dreamcast games. Man, I went through a plug and play the other day that had like 5, and I was so disappointed. Aqua GT, love this game. Confidential Mission, we got Buzz Lightyear of Star Command up there. We got Crazy Taxi 1 and 2. We got Dave Mirra Freestyle. We got, Freestyle BMX. We got Daytona USA. We've got Dead or Alive 2. We've got Death Crimson OX. Dino Crisis, Demolition Racer, Dynamite Cop. Wow. House of the Dead 2. Supercross 2000 from Jeremy McGrath over there. Jet Set Radio, of course, you got to have that. Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Mortal Kombat Gold. NBA Showtime, NBA on NBC. So many great games here. Resident Evil. Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. Soul Calibur. I'm loving this. This is great. Tokyo Extreme Racer 2, Toy Commander. No Virtua Tennis. All right, well, I'll pick on them where I can, and they're not making it easy, but Virtua Tennis, you got to have that on there. At least for me. 67 games, though, Dreamcast. I'm impressed. Okay, so Sega Naomi, we got 36 over here. Do we have... We do. We have WWF, Royal Rumble. Do we have the NBA game, Virtua NBA? I suppose that would be under V, right? So we don't have that. We have Power Stone 1 and 2, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Guilty Gear, Giant Graham 2000. Yeah, we got some good stuff. Capcom vs. SNK. Okay, very good. So we got Virtua Striker 2, but yeah, no Virtua NBA. That's okay. We still got great selection here. Sega Saturn, 24 games. Not a massive collection, but Batman Forever, I hated that game. Always. Golden Axe, great game. Original House of the Dead, Virtua Cop 1 and 2, Virtua Fighter. Yeah, decent selection. Area 51. I don't know if I would enjoy playing that on here, but it's cool that it's included. Next up, we have Mega Drive with 901 games, and the Sonic games, we've seen that in the collections already, so we don't have to worry about those being left out like the Mario games. Those are present on all of these. Got some wrestling games in here as well. We'll keep it moving. We got MAME over here, 1,172 games. Okay, we got AB Cop, which I'm a big fan of that. We got 2-on-2 Open Ice Challenge. It's another one of my favorite games. Let's loop around the bottom. Do we have WWF WrestleFest? We do. We have the 3 to 4 player version. We got WrestleMania. We got Superstars. Okay, this is going to take a little while. I'll skip ahead, but do we have Michael Jackson's Moonwalker? And I always just randomly select games that I want to see if they're included on here. But, and that's just kind of my, boom. Man, I couldn't have landed much better, huh? That's awesome. I'm so glad that this game is on here. Again, I just did another video recently of a plug and play setup that didn't have this, and I was bummed out. So very cool that the two titles that I was searching for are present on here at least. Gives us an indication that at 1172 we probably have everything that we're looking for in MAME. Capcom Classics, 26 titles here. We'll loop around the opposite way. We got some Street Fighter in here, of course. Man, whoever put this together has great taste, in my opinion anyways. Everybody has different tastes, but this aligns with what I'm always looking for. 31 games for Capcom System 1, 35 for Capcom System 2, 3 will be a lot less, 7 titles over here. We have Neo Geo with 68 games. This is where you're going to find your Metal Slug titles. Let's verify that they're on here, though. So, not much further. Should be... Wait. No Metal Slug? You gotta be kidding me. For Neo Geo, you don't have Metal Slug? That's insane. Yeah, there's nowhere else you could have stashed it, right? Let's just make sure. That's wild. Okay, so no Metal Slug. Interesting. So whoever put this together definitely wanted to, you know, avoid copyright issues and trademark. Not that there's not trademark and copyright everywhere on here, but they're avoiding, you know, strategic companies. I will put it that way. 194 games for Classic Arcade. There's going to be some crossover, I imagine, between this and MAME, but still great to find some additional arcade titles hidden in here. Capcom's, Atari 7800 over here with 54 titles. We've got Atari Lynx with 77 titles. We've got Family Computer System with 366. We've got Family Computer Disk System with 139. We've got Sega Game Gear with 344. We've got Original Game Boy with 500. That's a great count. We've got Game Boy Color with 487 games. We've got Sega Master System over here with 250 games. MSX2 with 81. Neo Geo Pocket Color with 5. We've got Neo Geo Pocket. This is Neo Geo Pocket Color. Last one was just Neo Geo Pocket. This one has 24 games. We got PC Engine with 258 games, it looks like. We've got Sega 32X with 29 games. We've got SG-1000 from Sega with 62. And we've got WonderSwan Color with 66. And our all games list. So this is where we probably should have landed by default, but we didn't. We landed on PSP, which is a couple collections over still. But this gives us our total count on here. 10,640 games. That is massive for, you know, a smaller capacity card. We're going to be diving into demos momentarily, but let's keep it moving. We've got favorites. This is a custom collection for easy access. You'll set up yourself. And we're back to where we started with PSP. So let's dive into some gameplays and see where the performance lies here. We're going to focus mainly on the more demanding stuff, PSP, Dreamcast, N64, PlayStation. But we'll jump into some classic titles as well. We'll jump into some classic arcade, and we'll see how this performs.
Round 1. Fight! You win. Battle 1. Fight! Battle 2. Fight! Ring out! 3 laps to go! Just a little bit more. Okay, let's go! Yo, somebody's right on your tail! Just a little bit more.
Round 1. Fight! Perfect! You win. Round 2. Fight!
Third down. No pressure. They're gonna go for 2. Reels it in. He just got hammered. You can't do that. First and 30. Touchdown, third down. Tampa Bay leads by 1. You can put it on the board. Onside kick. First and 30.
one, fight! This victory strengthened the soul of Maxi. You win! Battle 2, fight!
Alright guys, we jumped into this plug-and-play game console right here, and you know what, I review a lot of these, and it, to be perfectly honest, gets a little bit boring because while, you know, as soon as you boot these up, they offer different things, but on the surface, they're all the same sort of thing, and usually at this price point, it's essentially a TV box that's been converted over into a plug-and-play game device. This right here is very different. I've never seen a design like this before. I like that they're thinking about trying to make it more aesthetically pleasing by being able to mount this on a TV or monitor. It's very easy to do that. You simply just turn the dial on the back until it clamps itself onto your TV or monitor. The limitation there, I suppose, is that not everything is going to fit on here. I have one fat monitor that I just couldn't get it to fit on. The upside, though, is you don't need to mount it if you don't want to. You can just let this sit on a desk or a mantle. As long as you have those cable connections made properly on the back, Type-C to power it, HDMI to get your video and audio up on your TV or monitor, the experience is going to be exactly the same regardless of how you actually, you know, fix it to your area. Now, in terms of the performance here, well, before we talk about performance, let's talk about what the game collections look like. This is a very nicely put together setup. There's no duplicates on here, collection by collection. They're not padding the numbers. When they say that there's over 10,000 games, it's truly that count. We see so many game drives or game consoles out there that say, hey, this has got 50,000 games, this has 100,000 games, and then you start going through the collections and you see that titles are in there 3, 4, 5, sometimes even 20 times. You can quickly get to 100,000 games if you're adding the same games over and over again in the same collections. That's not going on here. They advertise exactly what you're getting. There's no funny business going on there. I like that. Whoever curated this had great taste in games, at least that's my opinion. It lines up with what I'm interested in. Collection by collection, there were so many games that were found on here that aren't available on any other game drives or game consoles in this price range. The downside, I suppose, is that PSP's performance is limited. We saw that with the Ridge Racer. It wasn't a good experience. But there is a lot of PSP titles added on here that do perform great. So a little bit hit or miss with that collection. Everything else, though, ran extremely well. PlayStation, N64 was phenomenal. Dreamcast was great, Classic Arcade, and all the older home console collections. No issues whatsoever. So performance-wise, I thought that it really went beyond what I was expecting. The downside here, though, is there's no Nintendo IP. There's Nintendo licensed games like Cruisin' World, for example, or NFL Blitz, but there's no Mario, there's no Donkey Kong, Zelda, Kirby, etc. None of that's going to be found on here. It's not to say that you can't add it. You certainly could. But if you're getting a plug-and-play game drive or a plug-and-play game console, you're probably doing so because you don't want to do any of the legwork. You don't want to download ROMs and upload them onto a setup like this. If you did, you'd probably make your own setup that would be light years better than even this. So a little bit of a trade-off there. There's pros and cons. $100 for this guy right here. Is it worth it? It's tough to say because at $100, you can start looking at some of the lower-end Kinhank options, and Kinhank has some great options out there. The downside is they have a muddy setup. It's a lot of duplicates. It's a lot of what I just outlined for you, where they're advertising 50,000 games, but really only offering you 20,000. It's still a great option, but you have to comb through all those games to find what you're looking for. So I like the setup on here. Performance, I wish it was just a little bit more powerful, but I love what it offers in terms of those game collections. They're great. They are missing the Nintendo IP, but for somebody like me that's more of a Sega guy anyways, I'm not really bothered by it. I'd love to see Mario Kart 64 on here, but I could always add that in myself. So $100 is kind of steep for something like this. In all honesty, I think if it was $75, that would be a great price point. And I would say at $75, it's worth every penny. $100 though, it's a little pricey. It's a little pricey. I think you could probably source this through AliExpress and get it closer to that $70, $75 price range. The downside is with transit these days and the craziness in the world, it takes a lot longer than it used to get it through AliExpress. Whereas Amazon, you guys know the deal. Amazon Prime is a game changer, and it's spoiled all of us because I can order this on Tuesday and I can get it by usually Thursday at the latest. So a little bit of a trade-off. I'm willing to spend an extra $20 to get it quicker. So yeah, I mean, I think it's worth $100, but it doesn't get me as excited as $75 would. So let me know what you guys think though. Did you like the experience here? Do you like the unique design of this plug-and-play game console? Hit me up in the comments. Be sure to click those links to get some additional information on this and to check the current price point because prices do fluctuate these days, sometimes on a daily basis. So click those links, learn a little bit more, hit me up in the comments. Be sure to smash the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed so you can stay in the loop for all future videos. That is going to do it for today, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for supporting the channel. I'll see you on the next one.